Okay, if you have ever worked with data, you know this feeling. It's that constant frustration, right? You're trying to find these amazing insights, but instead you're just stuck fixing, cleaning, and babysitting data pipelines. Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into a new kind of tech, AI agents, and how they're basically set to change this entire game. I mean, this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that core problem that bogs down so many teams. It's this endless cycle of just maintenance that really gets in the way of doing the cool, innovative stuff. And that is exactly what we're here to talk about. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to unpack what I'm calling the data wrangling trap. Then we'll introduce the AI agent as our hero. We'll peek under the hood at how they actually think, check out the real-world benefits, and then wrap up by looking at what this all means for the future of data. Okay, first up, let's talk about this trap. We need to really understand why the way we do things right now is, well, kind of broken. Let's be real. The state of data today is just chaos. It's not sitting in one clean, perfect little box. No, it's everywhere, scattered across different clouds, warehouses, APIs, you name it. And the tricky part is, every single one of those systems has its own set of rules. So what do? We build this incredibly complex, fragile web of scripts and jobs just to get them to talk to each other, which means most data teams are just stuck trying to keep the lights on. In all that chaos, it leads to this vicious, frustrating cycle. Someone, somewhere in the company, renames a single column. It seems like such a small thing, but then, boom, a critical pipeline breaks. Everything grinds to a halt. The engineers have to drop what they're doing and spend hours, sometimes even days, digging through code to fix it. And all the while, the business is waiting for that data. But what if there was a better way? What if we could break that cycle? Well, it's time to bring in the hero of our story, the AI agent. So just picture this for a second. An agent, a system that's smart enough to handle the entire process. I'm not talking about just one little piece of the puzzle. I mean every single step that a data engineer would normally have to do by hand. That's the big idea here. So what can these agents actually do? Well, they're pretty powerful. They get everything from nice, neat databases to messy documents and APIs. And it doesn't matter if it's in the cloud or on your own servers. They can even grasp metadata, the data about your data, to understand the business context. And this is the killer part. They can intelligently choose the best way to move the data, whether that's a big batch job or a real-time stream. Okay, I know, that all sounds great, maybe a little bit like magic. But how does it actually work? Let's pop the hood for a minute and see what makes these agents tick. The whole thing is built on what's called an agentic system. And honestly, it's a simple idea. Instead of just following a rigid, pre-written script, this system understands a goal, it creates a plan to get there, and then it actually executes that plan. It's the difference between a dumb script and a smart assistant. And the secret sauce is really a mix of three key technologies. First, you've got large language models, LLMs, that let it understand what you're asking for in plain English. Second, there's reinforcement learning, which is how it gets smarter. Every time a pipeline works, it gets a little reward, so it learns what to do next time. And third, and this is crucial, is tool calling. The agent doesn't just talk, it acts. It can actually call APIs, connect to databases, and get stuff done. So you put those three things together, and what do you get? What's the big payoff? It's this, fully working, executable data pipelines without a human having to sit there and manually write every single line of fragile code. That's the revolution. All right, so we've got the theory down, but let's get practical. What does this actually look like in the real world? What's the payoff for you and your team? This is where it gets really exciting. Think about these three use cases. First, declarative authoring. An engineer can literally just say, I need customer data joined with sales data, and the agent figures out how to build it. Second, business self-service. An analyst doesn't have to file a ticket and wait 2 weeks anymore. They can just ask for the data they need. And maybe the coolest one, proactive data quality. The agent can spot that a column name changed and suggest a fix before the pipeline even has a chance to fail. So who wins here? Well, pretty much everyone. Your data engineers get to stop putting out fires and actually focus on bigger, more strategic projects. Your business users get the data they need way faster. And hey, even your other AI models win because now they're being fed with much cleaner, more reliable data, which means they'll be more accurate. It's a win-win-win. When you step back and look at the whole picture, it's pretty clear that we're not just talking about a slightly better tool here.
this is a fundamental shift in how we think about and work with data.
This slide really says it all. We're moving away from the old way, this fragile patchwork of custom jobs that's always breaking. And we're moving to a new way, an adaptive process that is goal-driven, intelligent, and proactive. It's about anticipating problems, not just reacting to them. Yeah, I mean, that quote just nails it. This is the future. As these agents get more powerful, data integration stops being a chore and becomes this smart, adaptive system that can power a whole new generation of AI and business intelligence. So the big takeaway is that this isn't science fiction anymore. AI agents are here, and they are about to change the very foundation of data engineering. And that really just leaves one last question. Is your data ready for the agentic era?